Hey, Trailblazers. So, Leila here. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Great to have you here. Wherever you are in the world, please do post below. Let me know where are you. Say hi, thumbs up, loves, all of that. And if you have any questions, be sure to put them below as well. So, I'm jumping on to answer a question which a beautiful Trailblazer, a beautiful soul Trailblazer from my Insta story sent me a question through about toxic people, and I wanted to jump on and answer that question for her and for anybody else that is interested as well. So be sure to give me a thumbs up, post below any questions that you might have as well, and let's just see where this goes. So I've got a couple of different things for you. I'm going to talk a bit more about what and how toxic people show up. I'm going to give you some strategies on what I've done and how I've kind of moved out the energy of toxic people in my world and in my life. There's going to be loads of journal prompts as well, so I would definitely suggest that you grab yourself a pen and paper and that you take notes as well. I'll try and keep it short because there is definitely a lot that I can cover on this. I'm not necessarily going to go into detail of like narcissists and psychopaths and all of that. Some of this is going to be relevant, and actually the techniques and strategies would work equally as well to remove and release those people from your life. But if you do have any specific questions, feel free to send me a message, okay? So everything that I'm sharing is going to be from my own personal experiences, and obviously as a professional, I'll be sharing you know, content, techniques and strategies from my skills and my expertise, but a lot of this is from personal experience. I was just always one of those kind of people where I would attract into my life really negative people, very, very toxic energies, right? So a toxic person is somebody who has maybe a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, resentment, like to the extreme, okay? Hatred, fear, essentially is what they're living. They live in this world, this life experience of fear. They're very controlling, negative, manipulative, and just very toxic. Like, it just doesn't feel nice, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel comfortable to be around these people. They may be violent, they may be abusive, for sure. From what I've seen and from what I've experienced, there's definitely some form of abuse. Now, everything that I'm sharing there is on a spectrum. So some people are going to be very, very highly, incredibly toxic. And some people are just going to be showing signs of, you know, that negativity and that anger and not knowing how to deal with it. You decide where this fits in for you, you know, and who it is that you are considering that you want to cut out of your life, who is a toxic person. So, with people who are toxic, now the thing is, right, from all of my life experience, one lesson that I've come back to, and the key understanding is that nobody's really toxic, okay? Inherently, we're all good people. Inherently, we're good-natured and pure-heart people. But the choices and decisions that we make from our environment and the situations that we've been in, the experiences that we've had, can create these behavioral patterns which are downright nasty and horrible and hurtful and manipulative. And so I personally, this is just my personal belief, I don't believe toxic people exist. I believe that like, I don't believe negative people exist. I believe that it's about the mindset, and it's about the attitude, and it's about that is what shows up. But the person itself is a good-natured, is a good person, right? Behavior is, you know, something. Behavior, the way that it shows up, it's programmed, it's conditioned from messages that we get from society, from family, from cultures, from, you know, traditions and so on, from the media, so many different places, and they can all affect, and they create the language in the mind, which then creates the behavior that somebody shows up with. So there's so much more to this. There's so much more to this. But going back to the first point, which is, what does a toxic person look like and how do they show up? There's lots of negativity, there's anger, there's frustrations, manipulations, control. There is you never being good enough. There is lots of like verbal projectile projection, you know, where they're really not happy and they just are just like making somebody else feel like absolute shit. And so there can often be very unconscious understanding of their own behavior, an unconscious awareness of their own behavior. So they might just be on autopilot. They might just be very toxic, as in like they might just use very nasty words and be hurtful and be manipulative and controlling all the time and do it unconsciously, having no idea that they can actually change that, transform that if they chose to. Some people do this very consciously because they get a kick out of it, because it's just how, you know, they want to control, they want to manipulate. That's just how they are choosing to show up. All of these people do not have to be a part of your life. Okay, all of these people do not have to be a part of your life, and you are more than capable of releasing them from your energy field. So what I'm going to talk to you about here is just to kind of, okay, so we're talking about somebody who's showing up with this toxic energy, and you can tell that they've got a good heart. You can tell that they are good-natured, right? One of the things that happens is that people who are hurt will hurt others. And people who are healed or have healed will help to heal others. We're all to some extent hurting. Like there's this, you know, we're all living some experiences of pain, some stories of fear. We're all living this inner vibration, which is not particularly nice or comfortable, right? And so until we're conscious of it, we will project that out to others. So when somebody's hurting somebody else, they're actually just hurting, first of all, they're just hurting themselves, and they are hurting inside, and so they're hurting others. It does not mean that that's okay. It does not mean that because they're hurting that you have sympathy for them. Like, you don't want to go into that. Just recognize them as somebody who's hurting, and they have to take responsibility for their behavior and for their words and for how they're showing up. Okay, so healed people will always help to heal others. Okay, so a person who's been hurting has to choose to support themselves and to work through their issues, no matter how difficult or challenging it is. For you as a person who's around somebody who's hurting, you can make a choice. You can make a choice to be around them. You can choose to not be around them, completely cold turkey cut them off, or you can choose to limit your time. Those are the kind of three options that I've definitely worked through. When I was younger, I was always like, cold turkey, that's it, you're done. As I've got older, that's definitely softened, and you know, it's more limited now. So I'll limit to my greatest ability. I'll limit the time that I spend around anybody that does not feel great. You know, and so there are, you know, sometimes we have obligations as well to certain people in our lives. And they might not be aware of exactly how they're showing up, but that's a whole other video. Okay, so there are those three choices. Helping others to heal is not your thing. You're here to protect your energy, to show up as the best version of yourself, to keep shining, to, you know, to know that you're always safe, know that you're always protected, and to know that your environment is one which should be of support, and it should be a loving environment. And if it's not, then you have choices available to you to move away, to walk away, and to step away. Okay, all right, the way to move through to kind of move out of that vibration of toxic energy, number one is to set the intention that you no longer want to either have this person in your life, or you want to limit the time that you spend around them, that you are willing to learn the lessons that this person or these people are trying to teach you, okay? Again, that's quite loaded, so if you have any questions, just send them through to me, okay? But you want to learn the lessons. You want to learn the lessons that these people are teaching you so that you can move up to a different vibration. You don't have to stay where those people are energetically and vibrationally, okay? You do that in order to move away from them. You do that by learning the lessons and bringing in compassion, bringing in forgiveness, which is another strategy, and very, 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 very important strategy. Forgiveness is always for you. It's not for the other person. Forgiveness is your inner freedom so you can move forward. Forgiveness is the number one kind of tool or virtue or principle that I really believe that every single person can and must cultivate in order to really be happier within themselves. So you want to set the intention. You want to know what it is that you want. You want to remember as well that you are not the person, hey Ian, you're not the person who deserves to be treated poorly or badly or disrespectfully or like you're worthless or anything like that. You've got to remember your worth, know your worth. And then another one that's just popped up is make sure you cultivate the courage to actually show up, the courage to make a brave decision to move away, make a brave decision to step away in to whatever degree that is to you, okay? It definitely takes courage. It took me so much courage to walk away from people in my life who were incredibly, you know, violent, abusive, toxic, negative, and so on. And I had to check in with myself as well, like how was I continuing this pattern of toxicity? How was I carrying this on? And what did it serve? You know, how did it serve anybody? And so I actually had to just step back and just say, okay, I don't want to be in this space anymore. It's time for me to do what I've just shared there, you know, set an intention, bring in compassion, bring in forgiveness, have the courage to walk away and make the decisions that felt right and true for me in order to protect my own energy and in order to make sure that, you know, I showed up remembering what I'm worth. Yeah, so there's lots and lots there. Whatever you do, don't get caught up in their behavior, okay? You have choice, you have agency, you can decide you know, who you want in your life and who you don't want in your life. It's your decisions. You've got to make those decisions and make those choices. And you can for sure do them, okay? Something amazing happens, which doesn't feel that great always, but people who have this beautiful light energy will oftentimes attract people who are the opposite vibration. And you know, until you've built up the skills to actually deal with that, it can be really uncomfortable. But just know that you do not have to be around anybody, any situation, work-wise, family, friendship, social, whatever. You don't have to be around anybody that carries this negative energy. You have choice, you have choice, you have choice, you have choice, okay? So on that, I know there's a lot there. I really hope that you have found this video useful. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, share it as well. Feel free to post any comments or send me a message. And I'm going to offer a free coaching session to anybody who is watching this video who would like to kind of work through any of this energy that they're stuck in, okay? So just send me a message, we'll book you through a free breakthrough session, and we'll work through this and keep you moving forward. So something slightly different from me, but I really do hope that this has helped. And again, if you have any questions, please do let me know. Remember that you have definitely got it within you to make all of your dreams come true, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.